YouTube, what's good? Welcome back to a brand new video, guys. Today I'm going to be going over the top 10 loadouts that you guys need to be using in Warzone Season 4 right now. With the new Season 4 weapon tuning, we received quite a few nerfs and buffs to several different weapons, so today we're going to be going over some of the best ones you need to be using right now. And not only the weapons themselves got nerfs and buffs, but a lot of the attachments got buffs as well. So with that being said, there was definitely quite a few changes to the weapons in this game, especially the Cold War ones. So at any point when we're going through this top 10, if you guys are enjoying the video or find it useful, definitely let me know by dropping a like and comment down below. It is always greatly appreciated. And of course, guys, if you are new around here and are part of this 95% of people who watch my videos and aren't subscribed, I'm always covering the best loadouts for Warzone, tips and tricks, Call of Duty news, and more, so definitely subscribe down below. So with all that being said, guys, without further ado, let's hop right into this top 10. Alright guys, so starting us off with our number 1 loadout, we do have the Kilo and the Psycho pistols. Now I like to refer to this loadout as bring the game back, because this is the loadout you take when you just come back from the gulag late in the game. Now this specific loadout has everything you need when you just come back. So first of all, we're taking a ghost class so the enemies can't see you on the minimap or heartbeat sensor. And now on our Kilo build, we are using the perk fully loaded. For those of you that don't know what it does, it gives you full ammo. Obviously this is very useful when you come back late in the game and you land in a spot that's already been fully looted, so this is exactly what you're going to want to use. And for our other attachments, we have the monolithic suppressor, the arms 19.8, the hollow sight, and then finally the 60 round mag. So for the Psycho pistols, obviously yes, they have been nerfed, but they're still not that bad up close. So here's what you're going to want to use on them. You want to have the monolithic suppressor, the 140mm auto, the tac laser, the 80 round drum mag, and then finally for the perk, we're definitely going to want to run a Kimbo. Like I said, these things definitely aren't that bad up close, so they're good to have on this class. Then for our perks, we are using double time, and as I said before, we do have ghost, and then finally we are using amped. For that lethal, we do have the semtex, and then for the tactical, we obviously are using the heartbeat. So moving right along to our number 2 loadout, we do have the Car 98 and then the Demonte backing it up. This is another ghosted class that I normally like to take at our second loadout, and overall the Car 98 is definitely the best sniper slash marksman rifle you can be using in Warzone Season 4 at the moment. So for the attachments, you're going to want to use the monolithic suppressor, the custom 27.6, the tac laser, the sniper scope, and then finally the stippled grip tape. And then for our secondary, I do have the blueprint on, but here's the attachments on it. I have the agency suppressor, the 7.2 task force, the mounted flashlight, the 24 round mag, and then finally the drop shot wrap. And then overall this thing is definitely a great secondary, so if I wanted to just take my ghosted sniper class and not pick up my original weapons, I could be using this with no problem at all. And then for our perks, we are using EOD, then we have ghost, and then finally amped. And then for the lethal, we do have a semtex, and then for the tactical, we also have the heartbeat sensor. So this is overall one of the best sniper classes you guys can be using in Season 4 right now. So moving on to our third class spot, we do have the M16 and then the Psycho pistols yet again. Now I do normally just take this loadout at my second loadout, so I do have my original weapons, and then I also have the perk restock for my stuns now. But the M16 in Season 4 is definitely a sleeper, and you don't see too many people using it, but this gun definitely tears it up. The attachments you're going to want to use on it are the agency suppressor, the 15.9 strike team, the arms 3x optic, the field agent foregrip, and then finally the 60 round mag. And of course, guys, if you feel that you do not need the 60 round mag, you can definitely lower it to a 45 round mag for some better mobility. But if you are playing trios or quads, I definitely recommend that you do have that 60 round mag on. And then of course, guys, for our Psycho pistol, we do have the monolithic suppressor, the 140mm auto, the tac laser, the 80 round drum mag, and then finally for that perk, we are definitely putting on the akimbo. Like I said before, these things definitely perform best at close range, and when you're using an M16 which performs best at long and medium range, these things are definitely needed. So for the perks, we are using double time, and as I said before, this is the restock class, and then we are using amped. And then for the lethal, we have the semtex, and then for the tactical, yes, we are using the stuns because that is what we are mainly trying to restock. So moving right along to our number 4 loadout, we have the LC10 and the AMAX. Now I know the LC10 was a great gun in Season 3, but in the beginning of Season 4, I've used it quite a few times now, and this thing is still absolutely tearing up your opponents. You're going to want to use the agency suppressor, the 11.9 reinforced heavy, the target designator, the foregrip, and the 55 round mag. The mobility on this LC10 is definitely fantastic and is one of the better SMGs in the game right now. So now for our AMAX class. Even though this thing has been nerfed, this thing is definitely still pretty good in Season 4. So the attachments you're going to want to use are the monolithic suppressor, the XRK Zodiac, the VLK optic, the commando foregrip, and then finally the 45 round mag. This AMAX still has no recoil to it, so it's definitely a very viable option. So then for our perks, we do have double time, overkill, and then amped, and then for the lethal, we have the semtex, and then for the tactical, we also have the heartbeat sensor. So this is definitely an all-around loadout for the most part. So moving right along to our number 5 loadout, we do have the Krig and the PPSH. Since with the Season 4 weapon tuning we did see buffs on some of the attachments for the Cold War weapons, this Krig has absolutely no recoil in the beginning of Season 4 and is an absolute beam. The attachments you want to use are the Agency Suppressor, the 19.7 takedown, the arms 3x optic, the SFOD speed grip, and then finally the 60 round mag. This Krig produces crazy damage, and like I said, there is no recoil to this setup at all, so you're definitely going to want to give this one a go. Now for our PPSH, this is a great SMG to use up close, and the attachments you're going to want to use are the GRU Suppressor, the 15.7 Task Force, the Ember Sighting Point, the Bruiser Grip, and then finally that 55 round drum mag. This PPSH definitely performs its best in close and medium range gunfights, but even in some cases it barely has any recoil, so it can get the job done from longer range gunfights as well. So for the perks, we do have double time, overkill, and then amped, and then lethal we have the Semtex, and then tactical we do have the heartbeat sensor. So moving right along to our 6th loadout, we do have the MG82 in the primary, and then in the secondary we have the Milano. Now I'm sure as most of you know, this is the brand new LMG that came in this battle pass, which we unlock at tier 15 in the battle pass. And as of right now, this thing has completely broke Warzone. Everyone is using it, and this thing is the absolute meta without a doubt right now. This thing has no recoil at all, its fire rate is very quick, and the damage it produces is insane. So the attachments you want to use on it are the Agency Suppressor, the 15.4 Task Force, the arms 3x optic, the Field Agent foregrip, and then finally the Serpent Wrap. We can definitely expect to see a nerf on this gun in the near future, so if I were you and you haven't leveled this thing up yet, definitely take the time to level it up because this thing is a lot of fun to use. So moving on to our secondary, which is the Milano. Who would have ever thought that this gun would have been in the top tier guns, because this thing was absolutely awful in the first couple seasons, but in the beginning of Season 4 with all the brand new weapon tuning, this Milano is more than viable and is a fantastic option to use up close. So you're going to want to use the Agency Suppressor, the 9.5 rifle, the Ember Sighting Point, the Bruiser Grip, and then finally the 55 round drum mag. And then for our perks, we are using double time, overkill, and amped, and then for the lethal we have the Semtex, and also for the tactical we do have the heartbeat sensor again. So moving right along to our 7th loadout, we have the Bullfrog and the Ram. Like the LC-10, the Bullfrog was a great option to use in Season 3, and here in the beginning of Season 4, this gun absolutely feels fantastic as well and is a great secondary. The attachments you want to use are the GRU Suppressor, the 6.7 Reinforced, the Target Designator, the Skeletal Stock, and then finally the 65 round Fast Mag. So moving right along to our Ram setup, this thing has always been insane and you hadn't seen a lot of people using it until recently, but overall this Ram has always stayed consistent and is definitely one of the best assault rifles from Modern Warfare that you can be using. With that being said, the attachments you want to use are the Monolithic Suppressor, the FSS Ranger, the VLK Optic, the Commando foregrip, and then finally the 50 round mag. And then for our perks, we are using double time, overkill, and amped, and then for lethal we have the Semtex, and then for tactical we do have the heartbeat sensor. And guys, obviously feel free to change out the lethal or the tactical if you prefer something else over these. So moving right along to our 8th loadout, we have the Grau and the MAC-10. With the Grau, we definitely saw a comeback with it in Season 3 for the first time in a long time, and in the beginning of Season 4, this thing is still getting the job done with ease. So the attachments you want to use are the Monolithic Suppressor, the Archangel Barrel, the Commando foregrip, the 60 round mag, and the XRK Void. So moving right along to our MAC, this thing is still an absolute beast in Season 4 as it has been for the past few seasons. So we want to use the Agency Suppressor, the 5.9 Task Force, the Combat Stock, the 55 round drum mag, and then finally the Drop Shot Wrap. The MAC still has one of the fastest fire rates in the game, so this thing is deadly up close, so definitely give this one a go. For the perks, we do have double time, overkill, and then amped. For the lethal, we have the Semtex, and then for the tactical, we have the heartbeat. And then like I said before, guys, if you don't prefer these, definitely put on what you do prefer for the lethal and tactical. So moving right along to our 9th loadout, we have the XM4 and then the Farah 83. As I mentioned before, the Cold War barrels got a buff, so these two guns are performing absolutely insane in the beginning of Season 4. So what you want to use on the XM4 is the Agency Suppressor, the 13.7 takedown, the Microflex LED, the Bruiser Grip, and then finally the 45 round mag. This XM4 definitely feels like an SMG because of how good it is up close, even though it is an AR, so definitely give this one a go. Now for the Farah class setup. This thing in the beginning of Season 4 has absolutely no recoil whether you're on a console or PC, and I really do believe that this is the best AR you can be using in Warzone right now, so you're not going to want to sleep on this. If you don't have it leveled up, definitely go and level it up because it's well worth it. The attachments you need are the GRU Suppressor, the 18.7 Spetsnaz, the arms 3x optic, the Spetsnaz grip, and then finally the 60 round mag. For the perks, we do have double time, overkill, and amped, and then again the lethal we have the Semtex, and then again for the tactical we do have the heartbeat. So guys, moving on to our final loadout number 10, we do have the Scar SCAR, and then the Cold War MP5. Now I know what you guys are thinking, why on earth would we be using the SCAR in Warzone? And in the beginning of Season 4 with the new weapon tuning, this thing is an absolute beam. And I know when I first heard it, I didn't believe it, but when I tried out this loadout, this thing is absolutely insane, so I definitely recommend that you guys give this one a go at some point. So you're going to want to use the monolithic suppressor, the TAC-20LB, the VLK optic, the Commando foregrip, and then the 30 round mag. The only real problem with this thing is the fact that it can only hold 30 bullets maximum, but besides that guys, you're not going to regret using this. So moving right along to the Cold War MP5, this thing is still absolutely disgusting up close, so you're definitely going to want to give this loadout a go. You're going to want to use the agency suppressor, the Tiger Team Spotlight, the Raider stock, the 50 round drum mag, and then finally the Serpent grip. For the perks we have EOD, Overkill, and Amped, and then for the lethal we have the throwing knife, and then for the tactical we have the heartbeat sensor. I normally like to use this loadout on Rebirth Island, but it definitely works fine in Verdansk as well. So there you have it guys. These are the top 10 loadouts that I definitely recommend that you use in Season 4. All these loadouts are definitely unique and play in their own way, so it just depends how you play and what type of guns you like to use, and there's definitely one for you out of these top 10. So with all that being said guys, that is going to wrap up today's video. If you did go on to enjoy or found it useful, definitely let me know by dropping a like and comment down below. It is always greatly appreciated. And of course guys, if you are new around here, definitely feel free to subscribe down below to never miss out on a video. And as always guys, thank you very much for watching today's video, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.